Going on? I hope you guys are having a great day. So good to see you. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And today we're going to talk about this stock market rally. The stock market just shot up like crazy. I'm talking about 800 points in a day. That's a big deal. You probably made a ton of money, but I'm going to tell you, don't get too excited. I'm going to break down exactly what's going on and let you know why your mind might be playing tricks on you. So let's get started. Get comfortable. Buckle up seatbelt. We're getting started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we are 100% B1. We are Black first. That means we put our community at the top of our priority list. And Black wealth is the most important topic that we discuss on this channel. We educate our kids. We break generational curses because we know that Black people will rise and thrive and win. If you agree with this philosophy, everybody put a B1 in the chat. Hashtag B1. Use that hashtag. If you want to join B1 conversations, I want to say hi to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. And also look out for the fake pages because apparently, I guess, there's a ton of fake Boyce Watkins pages out there and they will hit you up and tell you to inbox them. So please be careful. Shout out the city that you're from. I see King Edward and Tony C. and Maurice out of Sarasota. My name is Corey. How you doing, brother? Is that Stacey, Pierre, Troy Patton, Jamrock, Juliet Young, Freeman, Trent Morgan, good to see you. All right. And how you doing, Freeman, out of Boston? Okay, so let's get started here. Let's talk about what's going on with the market. Give me a yes in the chat if you made some money in the stock market today. Give me a yes if you're making money. But also, I want you to confess. If you're not invested, say I'm not invested yet because I need to go ahead and try to persuade you to invest. Barry J out of London, good to see you, brother. I love Black London. Black London is one of my favorite places on the planet. Give me a yes if you made some money today. If your portfolio is looking green, if you're feeling good because you're making bread, I'm really happy for you. Let's celebrate that. Let's start the conversation there. If you are invested and you're making money, good for you, good for you, good for you. 2, if you're not invested, it is my job as your friendly neighborhood finance professor to tell you that investing in the stock market is one of the great keys to wealth in our society. If you are missing out on this investment opportunity, I really encourage you to reconsider that. I've studied the stock market in extreme detail for the last 30 years. I was on the faculty at Syracuse University for 13 years. I have produced thousands of students who went on to become millionaires on Wall Street. So I really need you to understand that when I tell you this, I'm telling you the truth. The stock market is one of the keys to wealth. If you want your family to do well, consistently invest in the stock market, let your money grow, and stop messing around with, stop playing with that, okay? Stop with the fast money stuff and all the get rich quick nonsense that's out here. The slow money is the best money. I just want to say that as just kind of a public service announcement because I really want us to kind of understand this. Now, with that said, here's what's going on with the market. So the stock market, the stock market today, here's what the stock market reminded me of. Tell me if you know this song. I'm a hum it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Anybody know a song? What song is that? Somebody say in the chat. What song is it? What song am I am I humming? Dun, 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 dun. It is coming up on Halloween this year. Halloween fell on a weekend. Me and Geto Boys are trick or treating, robbing little kids for bags. You know, he kind of rolled his. Anyway, so the song's called "My Mind Is Playing Tricks on Me." And so I thought about this, not just because my buddy Willie D, who was in my wedding, is actually a member of the Geto Boys. It was one of my favorite groups back then. But also because that kind of reflects what's going on with the stock market now. This is a tricky stock market, and it is playing tricks on your mind. Let me tell you the trick that it played on my mind today. So today, the consumer price index information comes out, right? So the CPI numbers come out, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if there's a negative surprise, that's going to body slam the market. The market's going to really be in a lot of pain if these numbers come out higher than expected. Well, guess what happened? The numbers came out higher than expected. The numbers came out terribly. I mean, it basically says inflation isn't being toned in and reined in and toned down. The Fed's rate hikes haven't kicked in yet. Remember, there's a 9-month lag between the time the rate hikes occur and the time it takes for it to actually have an impact. So you're not going to get an instant impact. So basically CPI is higher. the market gets alarmed. All of the valuation models that value stock prices have basically said that prices should be lower because you have this inflation issue. As expected, the market starts to melt down. This morning, I checked my app. The market's down by 500 points. All the headlines read stock market crash, 500 points, lowest since 2020. I'm thinking, okay, this is just going to be the tone for the day. This is what we're riding with, right? These are the opportunities we have. When prices go down, that's a great opportunity for you to own stocks cheaply. So I'm getting ready to go buy me some stock that day. I go shopping when the prices are low. I don't shop at the grocery store when the prices are high. I shop when the prices are low. Then I go and I hang out with my wife. And I love to hang out with my wife because she's the prettiest woman in the world, the most beautiful black woman I ever saw in my life. So we're spending time together. We're hanging out. We actually did a podcast this morning. We were talking about something totally related. We're talking about Deion Sanders and this whole thing with the HBCUs and his little beef with Coach Eddie Robinson Jr., which is really interesting, by the way, if you ever want to take a look at that. And then I check my app again and I look again. And I really thought my mom was playing tricks on me, right? So I'm hearing the Geto Boys song in my head. The market had gone up. It didn't just recover. The loss, the red that I expected wasn't just gone, but it had actually gone up by another 200 or 300 points. And then I checked it again. And it had gone up 800 points. It literally went from 500 points down to, at least at the time of this recording, 800 points high. And it looks like from the chat, somebody said it's 906 up. At least the Dow is. And I got to keep the numbers in front of me because they're changing so much. So what are you seeing right now in the market? Here's what you're seeing. Insane amounts of volatility driven heavily by the fact that you're in an environment that possesses what is referred to as information dispersion. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And so here's the thing. Whenever the stock market moves by more than a couple of points, there's always a story. There's always news. There's always information. If you ever want to have a day that's like a nightmare for people like me, for the finance professors like me, it's a day where the market moves with no news, no information, and no narrative, no story. Right? It's like for example, if when my homeboy, my buddy Greg Wilkins got shot back in Louisville, Kentucky, and when I was 25 years old, it was terrible, but it made some type of sense because there was a story behind it, and I understood what happened. He got misidentified, and somebody shot him for just a mistaken identity. That made sense. But what if somebody gets killed and there's no explanation? What if something happens and you can't explain it? It just happened out of just randomly. That's a little bit scarier. That's tougher for the brain to process. So the same thing is true with the stock market. When the market makes a major move, there should always be a story. When there is not a story, well, that right there should make you very nervous because that means that there's some sort of dark energy moving the market, some sort of financial dynamic that really shouldn't be at play in terms of moving stock prices. Stock in the world that makes sense, stock prices typically move because there's a story. So being the financial investigator that I am, I went and I said, what's the story? Here was the story. And the story was BS. The story, at least the media is laying it out like this. And I'm going to keep looking at analysis all day, and I'll be able to talk more about it later. The story that I'm seeing now is that because the inflation report was high, because inflation was higher than expected, there are people that believe that this is a signal that inflation has peaked and will be turning the corner. So this is not evidence that inflation has turned the corner. This is a belief that the peaking of inflation means that inflation is about to turn the corner at any moment. Let me tell you, going back to my Geto Boys theme, dun, 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 your mind is playing tricks on you. And another song that comes to mind, because I'm a hip hop fan, is Flavor Flav used to say, don't believe the hype. No, don't believe that. I don't want you to believe the hype because that's a bunch of nonsense. That is not true. There is nothing in my brain that tells me that higher inflation means that you're going to have lower inflation in the near future. There's nothing about inflation going higher that says that this means that inflation is going to start going down. There's nothing there. Inflation can be infinitely high. There have been societies that have had 3,000% inflation. So the fact that it goes from 8.1 to 8.4 or whatever it is, That does not mean, oh, well, we definitely got to be turning the corner. We got to be hitting the peak now. No, you know why? You know why? You know why? Let me tell you why. The reason that you don't know if this is a peak is because your Federal Reserve has engaged in some of the worst monetary policy of the last 100 years. People like Muhammad El-Arian, shout out to him, have been screaming from the rooftops for the longest that if you do not slow down what you're doing during the pandemic, you're going to have an inflation problem that you can't get rid of. So now your economy, because they were financially promiscuous, now your economy has an economic STD, and it does not have an easy cure. You have an economic STD because you were promiscuous with the money. They were writing those checks during the pandemic, infinite amounts of money being pumped into the economy, trying to stave off a downturn that never took place. They were trying to stop a recession that never arrived, and they OD'd the economy on money, and now they're trying to reverse what they did. So as a result of this, the Federal Reserve, in order to try to save its credibility, is hiking up interest rates at an incredibly fast rate, to the point where there are people that believe that they are going to, in the words of Muhammad El-Arian, who I respect, he's a smart guy, he said they're going to send the economy through a windshield. So the analogy, let me explain the analogy. Imagine you're going down the road and your friend is like, let's go 60 miles an hour. You're like, okay, let's go 70 miles an hour. Okay, let's go 80 miles an hour. You're like, whoa, hold on. And then they're like, let's go 90 miles an hour. You're like, no, don't do that, man. You might run into something. There might be a cop. And then they're like, let's go to 100, right? So they're driving faster and faster. And then suddenly you're like, look out, there's a bear in the middle of the street. So what do? They slam on the brakes and you go flying through the windshield because this dummy didn't understand that you shouldn't be driving 100 miles an hour anyway. Anything can happen. So now that the Federal Reserve has been pushing the economy at 100 miles an hour by pumping money into the economy that wasn't necessary, increasing the money supply at levels that shouldn't have, that never should have occurred, now they're trying to slam on the brakes. Now they're trying to hike interest rates insanely high. They are ruining a great economy. They're going to keep pushing until something breaks. They're going to keep going, and they're going to keep slamming on the brakes until we fly out of the windshield. And that's pretty much what they're doing. Okay. Now somebody said relax. I can't relax. I'm just a weirdo. That's just what I do. So my apologies for that. But sorry, not sorry. In the words of Amaretta the Great, who's a great rapper out of Atlanta. Sorry, not sorry. I can't apologize for being me. I'm never going to do that. All right. So anyway, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. We do stock options, actually. We sell stock options. We buy them, and we use them for our portfolio analysis. If you want to join us, you can go to drboyceprime.com. That's where I meet with my students, and they send me stocks they want me to look at, stuff like that. So if that's your thing and you want to learn from me in that private setting, in a closed group setting, feel free to go to drboyceprime.com. And also, just a reminder, I got to remind you that the All Black National Convention is just in a couple of weeks. So if you want to gather with a bunch of B1-esque people and do a lot of learning, connecting, and have a lot of fun, then just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. We meet in Charlotte at the downtown Sheraton Hotel, and it's going to be really amazing. The convention is so much fun. We even have speed dating and stuff like that now, thanks to my wife, because she's a relationship therapist, and she believes that's good for Black people to be able to meet other Black people that got some damn sense. So you don't have to date losers. You can go to the convention and meet somebody nice. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. The flight is well worth it. I guarantee you're going to have a lot of fun. I assure you of that. Okay, so let me just kind of give you a couple quick thoughts on this economy and what's going on and sort of how I'm processing this. I don't expect this rally to last. I think that this rally, I told you, it's your mind playing a trick on you. This rally is, it's probably going to be temporary. I also believe that you've got a major milestone ahead that has a lot of risk and vulnerability in it, and that is corporations having earnings report announcements that are probably going to be fractured when the effects of the Fed's rate hike start kicking in. So the Federal Reserve has been slowly but surely pumping the brakes on the economy by increasing interest rates. You're starting to see cracks in the economy in a couple of ways, at least a couple of ways. One, housing prices have started to drop. The whole rally in home prices and inflation in home prices and home prices going up that's kind of done. Most realtors are basically saying that whole those boom days are over. Okay, that's one area. Second area is, and this is of real concern, is the credit market. Credit risk has suddenly started to rise. That means that companies are having a harder time getting the financing that they need in order to survive. So ultimately, if these things continue to get worse, then that's going to really push us deep into that recession. That's also going to spill over into corporate earnings in the form of earnings revisions or guidance on future earnings that will be lower than what we expected. So what's going to happen, for example, is this, and this is one of the things that can be a big catalyst to pull the stock prices down. Some big company like an Apple or something is going to come out and say, we just realized we're not going to make as much money next year as we thought. And so because we're seeing some economic headwinds that are problematic, and when that announcement is made, people are going to extrapolate that to the entire economy to be a signal that the entire economy could suddenly be headed south. And then you're going to see another major decline in your stock prices. So that strategy that I mentioned to you guys about putting some money to the side to prepare to buy stocks when they're a little bit cheaper, that might be a way to go. And also, if you're owning something, you're holding something, then this might be either a chance to sit tight, or if you enjoy this rally for today, maybe you shave some off the top or go ahead and make some adjustment, buy you some put options because the put option prices have gone down because stock prices have gone up, right? So maybe you buy some puts to protect your portfolio, but this is a time to play defense. This is not a time to play offense. This is not a time to buy every dip or to believe that stock prices can only go up. That was, again, another illusion. That was another way where your mind was playing tricks on you because some of you didn't start investing until 2020, where money was raining from the sky. If you weren't making money in 2020, you had to be butt naked, stupid, or not participating in the stock market because everybody was making money, including people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. This environment is a little different. Your skill set you have to level up your skill set if you want to level up your money. If you don't learn a little bit more about how to trade properly, then you're going to end up being stuck in this market because this is a market where a lot of money is being lost. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's it. That's all I want to share with you all. And somebody asked me, when's the convention? The convention is October 28th through the 30th in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com, or to make it easy, if you're on Instagram, just hit the link in the bio. If you want to look at digital tickets, we do have a digital ticket that you can purchase if you'd like to join us digitally, but it's better to actually be there. But if you got to join virtually, you can also check out boycewatkins.com. I got some virtual passes there too. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope this conversation was helpful to you. And feel free to join us in class tonight. Just go to my website and you can join us if you'd like to participate. You can bring your whole family, and we will talk to you soon. The Black Business School is always here for you, no matter what. So take care, guys. Have a great day. See you later. Peace.